So the next project we're going to be doing, we're going to be adding color to black and white images. And instead of waiting for me to come in and give you an introduction, it's pretty straightforward. I figured I would just make a quick recording. So what I'm talking about is something like this, where this was originally a black and white image, and what I'm going to have you guys do is to add color. So anywhere you see like the red and the blue, and even very, very faintly some of the grass and the dirt and everything, this is what we are going to create. You guys are going to be finding an image eventually, something that is either authentically black and white, like an old photo such as this. This is taken from some war. I'm not going to tell you. Yeah, I don't know history, so I don't know which war this is, but I'm sure some of you guys would be able to identify it based on what their helmets look like and the uniforms. But you can see that a student added just the color to the helmets, the people, and the part of this vessel. Here's another one, Babe Ruth, and another one, Wilt Chamberlain. So these were originally black and white images. So you want to be very, very careful when you are adding the color. And you could see there's certain areas, if you look closely at some of these. If you go to Artsonia, you can look at them. It's called Splash of Color. So you want to get pretty accurate. If there's areas that are off, then it loses its authenticity. So here's another one where we just use the subject, meaning the two women here, and we colorized that and left the background black and white. So these are just some samples, same idea. So here we go. What I provided for you is an image that you're just going to open and right-click, open image in new tab, and then save it. I have it in my downloads right now, and it's this little kitten and boy. And I would like you all to practice on this, and I'm going to look at the results when I come in. So the way that this is going to work is that you're going to need an adjustment layer. And an adjustment layer is a layer that you are going to add, and it's going to look different than just a regular run-of-the-mill adjustment layer. The way that you find that adjustment layer is down below here. You're going to look at the thing that looks like a circle that's split in black and white, kind of like a black and white cookie, and you're going to click on it. And you can see all the different types of adjustment layers. We are going to pick solid color, the top one. Okay. Now, the color that was chosen was white, and it just picks your foreground color. So I'm going to go ahead and pick one of the colors that I'm planning on using. Now, if I remember the kitten and the little boy, I want to pick something like a yellowish, orangish color for the boy's hat. Maybe even like a brown, like a bronze yellow kind of color. And I'm going to say okay. Now, the idea is that I'm going to be removing a lot of this visibility of this big space. In fact, I only need a little bit of the space where the hat is. But right now, this is covering the entire picture. If you look to the right here, and I'm going to right click, and you can change it to large thumbnails right here if you right click. This mask is all white. And with a mask, white will reveal it, black will hide it. So if I paint black on this layer right here, it will change the visibility, and you have to use pure black. All zeros. I'm going to go with a brush just to get started, and you can see that I just brushed black on it, and you can see that it's hiding it. To reveal it, I would paint white, sorry. So I'm going to switch these colors. Right now I'm on black and white, and you'll see that this will automatically change to black and white when I select a mask. If I select this part of my layer that I'm not changing at all, you can see that it changed the colors back to what I originally had. But if I select the mask, it's now going to black and white. The shortcut on the keyboard is the letter X. You can see I'm hitting the letter X on the keyboard, and it's switching those two colors around. So white will cover it, black. Okay. So you get the idea. So it's going to be black and white. Okay. Now, before I start, I'm just going to make everything, I'm going to start again with this solid color. Again, I'm going to pick the color again. Okay. Now, it's best if I inverted this, instead of it all being revealed, if I hide it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to invert this mask. I'm going to hit Command-I. And so what it did is it inverted it from white to black. So then it's a matter of painting it. Now I'm also going to be setting up my brush. This is definitely too big of a brush to be using right now. So to change the size, I use the brackets next to the letter P, and you can try it. It made the brush a little smaller. I'm also going to make sure that my brush is hard or soft. So I'm going to hit this folder right there. And now I'm on brush settings. Move the spacing down to 1%. Here's the hardness. And you can see how it'll start to show the fuzziness right over there. So it's probably just the hardness and the spacing that you're going to adjust for now. You could adjust the size here, but as I said, adjusting the size right on your workspace is better. So I'm going to move the hardness to 100%, and I'm moving the spacing down to 1%. I'm going to click on this little icon there to make it disappear. So now I'm going to brush on it. But you can see nothing's happening because I'm on black. I'm going to hit X, change it to white, so you can see it's just like I'm brushing this color on it. Alright, and I'm getting kind of accurate. I can fix it up later. Now, this does not look realistic, so some of you might say you could go to the opacity and lower the opacity. But still, that looks kind of chalky. So we're actually going to change the mode of this layer. Right now, it's set to normal. So here's your opacity. That you can certainly change. But I'm going to slide over to normal. Here is all the different modes, and you can see as I'm kind of running down them, you can see that it's really changing. There's a couple that you're going to be using. There's color, and that looks pretty good. And then there's also overlay. I'm going to show you the difference. Let's say I'm going to use color. Now I'm going to zoom in, and I got to clean up this section here because I got some of his ear and all that. So I'm going to use the brush. I'm going to make it a little smaller, and I'm going to paint on black. And I'm just going around the edge and fixing up that edge. If you go like this, oops, I got some of that, you hit X, and you can just bring it back like that. Okay. So I'm going to remove it off of his ear. Okay, move it over here. Okay, so that is essentially it for the hat. Now, you might say this looks too kind of bright. It just looks too vivid. So one of the things you can do, again, you can lower the opacity a bit and just kind of tone it down. You can also change the color by clicking on this part, double clicking. So let's say that I actually want it to be blue. You see it changes to blue. If you want a pastel-y version, see it's not really lightening it. If I go to the lighter part of it, it's just kind of graying it out. It's not really making it lighter or darker. But, you might find something that's a little bit better. Now, you can see that this is a light version, but look how dark that color is that I'm applying. Okay? I'm going to change this to overlay. Overlay reacts a little differently. Let me show you what happens here. So you can see that that is the same color. This is overlay, and this is color. This is overlay, and this is color. So it's the difference. Well, the color is much, much lighter. Overlay, it's a little bit more true to that color there. So I'm going to double click and watch what happens when I lighten it up. It gets very, very light. So definitely try overlay and color and see which one you like better. And I don't really care which one you want to go for. I actually think that looks good. So once I'm done with this part and I want to add another color, I'm going to go back to the adjustment layer and I'm going to do another solid color. And I'm going to pick maybe something for the cat, for the little kitten. Let's say I want it to be a little brown like that. I'm going to hit Command I to invert that mask. I'm going to zoom in on the little kitten and I'm going to start brushing on the mask. I'm going to brush white to reveal the color. Okay? And again, you can do this at any time. I'm going to try overlay. I'm going to try color. I'm also going to explore maybe picking a different color. So I'm still using a hard brush, but something like a kitten, I may want to change the brush, the hardness, down to something softer. So it kind of blends, the edge kind of blends in a little bit better. X. Okay, so I'm just kind of scooching around the edge there. And so if I do like that color and I want to kind of explore it, the eye could be a green. So I don't want the color to go on the eye. I'm going to go with another one. And again, if I wanted to explore different colors for this little kitten, I can do that. Colors will not show up on white or black. They'll show up very, very kind of lightly. So you just got to be careful there when you go on to white or really black areas. The color will not show up as well as those gray tones. Okay? So again, if I wanted to explore either color, and another one is soft light. You know, that one's actually kind of nice, but you can see there's basically nothing on the white, and it's really, really dark on the black. But overlay might be a choice. I actually like soft light, so, you know, you explore the different possibilities. Each one of these layers can have different modes. Okay. The last thing, skin tone, is going to be crazy hard. So I'm going to go, again, make a solid color. I'm going to pick a color that you would be surprised that would work. I'm going to go with like something like that. Okay, I'm going to invert it and I'm going to start brushing on his face. Now I know I'm using a soft brush. Okay, I am going to change it from normal to overlay and to color, and I'm going to try out. Color kind of works better, but again, I might want to. I might want to lower down the opacity, just kind of tone it down a little bit. I can also double click on it and try out the different skin tone, see what kind of looks a little bit better. Okay. So I'd be curious to see how you guys make out. You know, keep on trying. When you save it, you go to File, Save As, and we'll call this Practice. And if you go to your files on your desktop, I would like you to make a new folder, please, and you can call it, right down here, you can call it Color, or Splash of Color, or Colorize, whatever you want to call it. Okay? And that's where your practice one is going to go. All right. Hopefully this gave you some information so you can move forward. And I'll see you when I see you. Have a good one.